Right. Okay. Well, it started recording. I can cut it off later, but Michelle is here already. Okay, nice. Okay, yeah. So welcome. Thank you very much. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hello. So yeah, today we are going to be talking mesh, and here is Michelle from Harmonic Pool is joining me as a co-host. So yeah, can you hear us, Michelle?
Yeah, sure, I'm here.
Okay, okay, great, great. Um, okay, shall we wait a little bit? Maybe a few more people can join, or shall we start like already? What do you think? Oh,
Just
James,
wanted to say thanks for the quick fix, Cremo.
you're welcome.
Great thing to wake up to. Michelle, what's happening? Hey, Matthias. Hey, Tyler.
Hey, James.
Yeah, here I am.
Hello.
I forgot to activate my camera. All right, all right. Yeah, that was an expected thing to happen, to be honest with you. And yeah, I'm glad that we were able to fix it like very, very quickly. So yeah.
Surprising little rug pull there, but you jumped on it.
Yeah, hopefully it won't happen until we like drop the new version. But yeah, anyway, so let me try sharing my screen. All right. Can you see my screen? I mean, the window. Yeah. All right. All right. So are you guys already aware of something called Mesh? Have you heard about Mesh already? Yeah, I'm just asking like how much in depth should I go in explaining what is Mesh? But I think like most of you are like familiar with it already. Just to give you like a brief.
If you give a brief overview, this has been recorded. It might help people watching the recording.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, again, thank you very much for joining. Hello, everyone. Today we are going to be talking about Mesh Sdk. So before I start talking about like what is Mesh, I will give you like just a small history, why Mesh has happened in the first place. So if you remember in the early days of smart contract in Cardano, even though you might say like we are still in the early days, but like in the early days of like developing on Cardano, like the developer experience was not that great, right? So we were trying to build, like right after the Plutus Pioneer program, we were trying to help some client building their dApps on Cardano. We got contacted by people to ask like, yeah, we want to build a marketplace, or we want to build like a staking solution or a minting solution, stuff like that. And then we have to go and implement it for them, but it was not like easy. It was not like straightforward. It was like very like hard process, let's say, because of two things. Like the first one was the lack of documentation, and the second problem was the tooling. So there was not like enough tooling around. So, and for ourselves, like we really needed something to help us deliver quicker and handle like more client. And the other thing is we didn't want to become the bottleneck. Like our team was not the only one who were like building the solution, of course, but like there are like only few people who can do this type of work. And developing on the blockchain shouldn't be that hard and shouldn't be that complex if we want to drive for adoption, right? So, and because we also had like an experience with doing open source and everything, we said, yeah, why not building a tool that is going to help us deliver more and help other people to jump in, right? So that was the main idea behind Mesh, and this is where we started the project. yeah, as I was saying, the main two problems that we were trying to tackle are the lack of the documentation. So the first thing we thought about was, yeah, let's create a website where we have like as much information as possible about like how to get started and build on Cardano. And as you can see here, right in the main page, meshjs.dev, if you hover over get started, you will start seeing some useful stuff. Like you have guides. Guides are like your go-to page if you are like new to developing on Cardano, and you don't know basically where to start. Like some of those guides are just like helping you start as a developer, even like it starts from installing VS Code and Node.js, right? So by diving into those guides, you can start your first Web3 application. You can, for example, this is like the most basic guide here, the hello world. Like you start Web3 with Next.js, try to install the Mesh SDK in your project and get your wallet connected. So these are the guides that we are like providing. You can go like from get started to create minting solution. You can do multi-sig and so on and so forth. And this is a list that we are trying to add more as much as we can, and like help people to know like where to start and how to start basically. So let's say you joined and you picked up one of those guides and you enjoy the developer experience that Mesh brings, and you want to dive deeper and you want to know more about the SDK, you want to know more about the API provided. Instead of going through like the repository and try to read the code by yourself and try to understand what is this library is providing, we built what we call the playground. So what is the playground? The playground is your like a page where you can call the Mesh APIs and use them. So for example, here we have, and of course we have like description for if each and every endpoint. You can go here, for example, and you have get installed wallet. This is a method, right? I don't have to run it on my local machine. I just have to click this button and I get the expected output right away here on the screen. So it's like a live demo, and it show you like the code and the description on the side, and you can try it for yourself. So right here, I just got my wallet connected, and I can do all sorts of stuff like getting the balance, and it will show me exactly what I have in this wallet. And it also give me like here an overview of what I should expect from this API. So we believe that doing something like this is going to lower the barrier of entry for people and make it like really easy for them to jump into it. Like we should not let developer feel intimidated by developing in the blockchain, and especially in Cardano, because it's known like, yeah, the EUTXO model, it's hard to develop for, it's Haskell, but in reality, it's not. It's very straightforward, but it's not being showed correctly, right? So as you can see, this is the wallet. Now that we got our wallet connected and we know what we can do with our wallet, the next step is going to be building a transaction, right? So here, if you hover over the transaction section, you can see that we have multiple section here. We try to break it down so you know exactly what you have here. So instead of having like one page with all the method available, you, for example, you can just click on send asset, and it will just give you the APIs related to send asset. And here, basically, you can learn all from in this page about like how you send asset, how you build a transaction. And yeah, as you can see here, as soon as I click on this side and like I type a random address like this, the code get updated, and I can click here, and I can get my my wallet pops up, and it works, right? So yeah, that's regarding the playground. So yeah, here you can see that we have like multiple APIs. You can send the ADA, and you can go and send multiple like asset, multi-asset, sorry. So those are picked up from my wallet. Yeah, by the way, if you think that I'm going too fast or you have any question, I'm fine to get interrupted. So yeah, it's okay. If you think that I'm going too fast or something. So yeah, is everything all right? Okay, great. Okay, so as I was saying, these are the API provided by transaction. You can see send token. This is something that we have added like very recently, where you can select from a few list of asset. For example, we can use like gimbals and send gimbals without the need to like look up for the policy ID for each multi-asset. You can do stuff like ADA handlers. So here we have Jingles ADA handler. We can put any ADA handler, and it will go and fetch the address for us. You can do set metadata. You can do set the time, the slot, and we also have like coin selection. So this is these are a list of some of the coin selection algorithm that we have implemented in Mesh, and this one is one of the recent addition that we have added. So, and we call it keep relevant. This is not a CIP2 coin selection. This is an original Mesh creation. It's implemented by us, and we believe that it's the most reliable one so far. But yeah, we are still like waiting for community feedback to know more about if it's like really useful as we think it is. Right. So this is regarding the sending asset. As you can see here, we can also do like smart contract interaction. We can do minting, whether it's Bluetooth minting or native script minting. We can do staking. So basically, each and every feature available in Cardano can be done via Mesh in a very like simple and straightforward API. Yeah, so it's you can chain transaction one after the other, and then you can like just put the asset here in like very like straightforward way. In I like to call it like plain English, but yeah, I don't know. It depends on yeah on your definition of plain English. But yeah, yeah, this is a meeting transaction with Bluetooth V2, and here you can see staking transaction also. So yeah, again, everything you can do in Cardano protocol is available via Mesh. I can jump to another section, the React section also. So this is one of the things that we added to Mesh to enhance the developer experience, and one of them is the UI component. So, right, the idea here is that the most basic thing that you want to have in your application is a connect wallet button, right? And like each and wallet has its own like you have to go and you connect to the wallet and you fetch the state, and there is like a whole like state management going on there. So we figured out like why not create those pre-built React component where developer can just import one line of code and put the component there, and then it will just give you this beautiful component. So this is the Cardano Connect wallet that you have been seeing since the start of the presentation. We also have like a stake button. So this is another useful component that we have added, which is going to allow stake pool operator, for example, to add this button to their stake pool page. And then when you come and visit their website, you can just like click this button, and then it will stake your ADA to that stake pool. So all they have to do is provide their pool ID, as you can see here. So they import this stake button, and they do some setup boilerplate here with the provider, and then they put the stake pool ID. That's regarding the React component. I said provider, right? So speaking of providers, we have also added an implementation for a couple of providers in the space, like Blockfrost, Koios, Ogmeos, Tango Crypto. So these are some of the providers that we have implemented so far, and they all have like a common user, like sorry, not user, a common interface where you can just go and do your fetching for the account addresses in a unified way. You can, for example, get the asset address, or you get the protocol parameters, and these are all written in like a unified way. So here, this method is called fetch protocol parameters. For example, you call it from the Blockfrost provider. You can get guaranteed that this same method exists on Koios provider. So it will become like more like straightforward. So for you as a developer, you don't have to go and read the API documentation for each provider and try to handle each one of them separately. So this is regarding provider. So let's say you know how to get started, and you have an idea about like the APIs and everything. You just want somewhere to start. We also providing what we call startup template. So what are like startup template? Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Right. So startup template are some of the templates that we have built within CLI that you can just do npx create, and you can spin them up. So we have like starter, which is like an empty template with a connect wallet button. You can do multi-segmenting for to do like selling like a vending machine, an NFT vending machine. For example, you can do your stake pool website, you can do an e-commerce, even you can do a sign-in with wallet. And as you can see here, like let's imagine I select sign in with wallet here. So if I go down here, it will give me like the command, which I can just go to my terminal and get an application up and running, and then we can like take this template and yeah, make changes to it and start adding my own things on top of it. So yeah, and this is how it looks like. So we have a live demo here. It's already deployed. You can go and see how it looks like, and you can also run it on Demeter, or maybe you can do a GitHub. You can go to GitHub repository and see the code for the template. So I think that is going to do it for a brief presentation. I don't know if we can call this brief because it took us 20 minutes, but that was like a walkthrough the API, walkthrough Mesh, and what Mesh looks like, right? But yeah, this is all good, right? But this is just V1, right? There is still so many things that can be improved on. So, and that is going to brought us to the main the topic of discussion of today's town hall, which is what is next for Mesh, Mesh V2, how it looks like. And yeah, for this, I will let Michel introduce himself, and we can he will start the conversation and we can take it from there. So yeah.
Hi everyone. How are you? Everyone fine? So I'm here today because I'm very happy. Well, first of all, who am I? I'm I'm the ideator, maybe, of Pluteas, which is a smart contract framework to write smart contract using TypeScript, like actually TypeScript. It is an EDSL, meaning that you are given a bunch of functions, a bunch of classes, and then those will compile down to a smart contract. This was the main idea of Pluteas, and as now version 0.1 is usable. However, version 0.2 of Pluteas is coming now. Currently is just in pre-release, and this version 2, well, will include a lot of optimizations for contracts, but will also include all the off-chain part of creating a decentralized application. As for now, the main choices to write off-chain code is either to use a PIB, which is a centralized solution, either to use the Cardano serialization library or Cardano multi-platform library, which do rely on Rust and compiling to WebAssembly to be used on a browser. And if you ever try to use it, you know how WebAssembly can be clunky sometimes. So that is why there is an off-chain implemented in Pluteas. Now, if I may, I could share my screen so I can show some code on how that will work. No.
Okay. Yeah. Can I make you a presenter, or you can?
I believe you are still sharing your screen. I'm done.
Okay. Hold on. Let me stop sharing.
All right. Okay, so you should be able to see my screen here. Everyone sees it?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, this is the Pluteas repository. The code that interests us, well, is in the off-chain folder. The on-chain contains all the stuff that I was talking about before. And the off-chain is all the new stuff that will come with Pluteas version 0.2. It basically includes all the types of the ledger. So we have addresses, we have values, hashes. So that includes public key hashes. We have basically everything that we may need for an off-chain library. However, this is much closer to the Cardano serialization library instead of what Mesh is offering, and that is why I really appreciate the work they are doing because it's massive. But in Mesh version 2, the actual work of creating transactions, of um, reading addresses and all that stuff will be done under the hood from PTS uh, instead of the Cardano serialization library. In fact, one of the main uh, issues that Mesh users are having is, as an example, using WebAssembly. So and this is not Mesh's fault. It is the dependency under the hood. Uh, if the goal is to have a really easy to use tool, which they are doing awesome work with, um, then having something that creates transaction and all the off-chain in pure JavaScript, it will be an essential step. Um, so the main reason I wanted to show the code is to show the interface that the transaction builder, which will be mainly the main component then used by Mesh on your behalf, basically the interface that it expects. And the transaction builder is just a class, very simple. It takes a network, which under the hood is just testnet or mainnet, to understand how to create transaction for which network, and then it expects some protocol parameters which can be queried using the function showed before by AppDApp. Once you create a transaction builder, then you have a fixed transaction builder for that network, as an example, with that parameters, with which you can build a transaction. So a transaction builder has the build method, and the build method takes inputs, the change address, the outputs, well, everything that literally everything that can be put in a transaction is here, and also some utilities option, as an example, onscript invalid and onscriptor. So this is because since ProTS also has all the on-chain part, the transaction builder is able to evaluate the transaction. So if the transaction contains any scripts, it will pre-evaluate those scripts, thus reducing at minimum the script fees, because otherwise those would be estimated, and that would somehow overshoot for security. Whereas here we'll set the fees just as right as needed and as specified by the protocol parameters. And you can also have some callback in the case of the script doesn't succeed. That would be great for the user experience. You perhaps want to show an error message if the script has some error, and so that is why we have it here. And well, the rest, this is really a huge function, so it's doing a lot of stuff. But just to share a bit more about the interface, this is the argument under the hood. As an example, uh, in an input you have to specify an UTXO, and this is required, but you can also have a reference script or an input script that is online. So this would be the version 1 Plutus. Or in the outputs, also you have datums that can be either hash32, so hashes, datum hash, or actually data. You have values, you have addresses, and you have, of course, trips. So this is really updated to the last version of Cardano. All these classes are handling CBOR by themselves. So all the CBOR is done by PTS. As an example, here I'm on address. The address class has the from CBOR and to CBOR methods, the to string and from string. So it can read actual back to addresses. this is done everything in pure JavaScript. There is well, TypeScript that compiles, of course, to JavaScript. So there is no messaging between WAS or WebAssembly to TypeScript, and all this actually compiles down to like 2 MB of library, and this would be split down so that you can have only what you need. In contrast to the 10 MB of library of a Cardano serialization library, as an example, even if the mesh team is doing an awesome job also there, reducing the size of the library. So this is just to show that all these.
So yeah,
Right.
thank you, Michelle. Thank you very much. So basically, what Michelle just showed us was like the serialization library entirely rewritten in TypeScript. So he did all that amazing work and redo the everything we already have in TypeScript and add more features on top of it. So what does that mean for you as a mesh user? So and like as a Cardano developer in general. So first thing first, so many people were complaining about like, do I need to learn Haskell to be able to write smart contract in Cardano? The answer now is no, no longer the case, because if you are familiar with TypeScript, you can jump in and write your smart contract in TypeScript. The second thing is Cardano serialization library uses WebAssembly. WebAssembly has like a very heavy bundle size, which is like 10 MB, which you have to import in your dApp, which is going to make your dApp like pretty slow. With Mesh, we are doing like some lazy loading. You don't have to import it right away, but once the user start using the library, you have to fetch it at some point. And this is going to be still 10 MB that you have to load in your application. We cannot do any tree shaking. We cannot eliminate any things that we do not want to use. With BlueTS, because it is written in TypeScript, which compiles to JavaScript, we can do tree shaking. We can load only what we want at any given time. And this is going to improve drastically the performance of our application. Like right now, we don't have any benchmark, but as soon as we get like our V2 beta up and running, we try to provide some benchmark to show you like the before and after. So, and on top of that, as Michelle was mentioning regarding the Bluetooth evaluation, because you have like your smart contract written in BlueTS, and you have like the BlueTS serialization library happening in TypeScript, Michelle can do some magic and give you the validation error even before you submit your transaction on chain, because the current state is that you build your transaction. The transaction builder is going to check whether the transaction is balanced or not, right? That's all what we can do. But if there is any problem with the Bluetooth validation, you cannot like spot them on like before you submit your transaction. With BlueTS, you can like check and validate your transaction before putting it into the network, and you can make some handling before you hit the network. So these are some of the things that are coming to Mesh. So basically, Mesh V2 is going to be entirely like not rewritten, but the core, which is serialization library, is going to be replaced by TypeScript, which we hope is going to improve drastically the user experience for developers on Cardano. And that's going to solve other like portability issues with loading your dApps in mobile natively. You can also do stuff with like loading Mesh into a Vite powered project, because right now it only supports Webpack because of some limitations with Vite. So yeah, exciting stuff. Okay, I think that's it about the overview. I think I will leave it to you for if you have any questions. I think we like bombarded you with information. Yeah, Matthias, go ahead.
Yeah, I have two questions. So the first one, which is mostly on my mind, is are you or is one limited to React when wanting to use Mesh on the front end?
Good question. So it's not limited to React at all. Like we have the React component, which are going to help you if you are building a React application, but it's not limited to React at all. Like Mesh can be used in Node environment in the backend, can be used on Angular, React, whatever, right? The only problem or the only limitation is you have to use Webpack as your bundler, or you have to like figure out a way to load your WebAssembly correctly without Webpack, but it's not limited to React at all.
Okay, and then the follow-up question based on what you just said and just a minute ago, what are the limitations in Vite currently?
Right, so just to give you like a backstory, so Cardano serialization library and multi-platform library provide two packages, like two artifact, right? You have the Node version and you have the browser version, right? And because Mesh it's platform agnostic, it can run anywhere. We are using something called the browser field in package.json, right? So this is a feature which has been added not recently, but like relatively recently by the Node team, which is going to detect whether you are in front end or in backend. And if you are in Node, it will give you the version for backend. If you are in front end, it will give you the front end version, right? This feature, because it's new, it's not like yet supported by the newer version of Vite. It's only work with Webpack, right? I created an issue on the official repo, and we have like a PR there. It has been open like for almost 3 months now, but they didn't like merge it yet because they are still trying to figure out some other stuff with the newer version of Vite. So if they merge that PR, then yeah, we are good. We don't have any limitation, but we cannot like just wait for them. We can do something in parallel. So yeah.
Great, thank you very much. So I guess next steps would be to bombard Evan you on Twitter or something like that. To
Yeah.
please take a look. Great,
I mean,
thank you.
Yeah, it's funny that we also had like some Mesh developers going there to the repo and asking, yeah, when this merge, when this, yeah. All right. So any other question? No. Okay. Well, maybe we can talk a little bit more about V2 and what's coming. So in the last 2 weeks, we already like started doing some proof of concept and testing, me and Michelle, trying to get it to work. And the CIP30 layer, which is responsible for about connecting the wallet and everything, has already been like almost done with the BlueTS, and we are like pretty happy with the both the developer experience and the performance there. So like there is progress in that regard. But yeah, you can expect a beta release in maybe 3 weeks from now, or 4 weeks, which is going to have like a wallet and transaction builder using BlueTS. And yeah, other stuff on the horizon are going to be creating a template powered by BlueTS to enable people to do parameterized script and those kind of stuff. Maybe Michelle can talk more about this one.
Yes, absolutely. So since BlueTS is a framework to to build smart contract using TypeScript. That means that it's able to run also in the browser. What that means is that you can have not only a parameterized script on the browser, but you could actually build actual smart contract on user request. So you could have more than just simple option to apply to a script. You could actually build a script, of course, easier for the user on user request. That is because you are actually building the script on while running. The script is built at JavaScript runtime. That means that once you have all the inputs that you need, you can build your script and you can compile it. It's actually pretty fast considering that you are building an entire smart contract. So it shouldn't take more than, well, it strictly depends on the size of the smart contracts, but it has been really optimized since V1. So it shouldn't affect too much. Not more than when you send out a transaction, just to speak. When you send out a transaction, you have some async function to handle the user signing the transaction and all that stuff. It would take around 20 seconds. The same goes for compiling as smart contract. So there are a bunch of options that open up with a client-side compilation, which do include the parameterization of scripts. So you have a script on your own and you just apply some parameters. That would be the case as an example for one-shot NFTs. So an NFT policy that only allows to mint once and never again, that can be done by parameterizing the policy with a specific UTXO and checking for that UTXO to be spent. So since you spend that UTXO is no longer a spend, so you can never again use that policy. That case, you can create a specific one-shot policy for the user, which otherwise you would have the need to do at that client side, server side, because before Proteus there were no other way to actually compile or parameterize a script. So
yeah, basically I can give you an example. Any one of you is familiar with Remix on Ethereum? Yeah, so basically the idea is you will be able to write like smart contract on the browser, and you can have like something like Remix on Cardano, where you can just write your smart contract there and compile them on the browser, and you can try them, or maybe you can do real work there. Why not? You can also, like as Michel was saying, you can integrate this compiler functionality into your dApp, and you can allow your users to create like custom validation rules for your use case, whatever might be that use case. So yeah, and parameterized script is going to be like the most requested like feature is going to become like it's nothing like parameterized script. Yeah. Yeah, Matthias?
A little bit of a different topic, but I'm wondering, I know you also have on your website, you asking for support financially. So my question is along those lines, because I know at the Cardano Foundation, they have been pushing Icon, another project that looks interesting, makes the Rust developer in me happy, but at the same time, I also have a little bit concerns. So recently I found out, well, probably one of the reasons that the Cardano Foundation has been pushing Icon is they're actually support them financially, right? They have at least one person on the open source team as a full-time employee. So my question is, because I think, I mean, I've known you since the Gimbal Labs days, and other team members are very, very prolific. I worry about a little bit about the financial future. Fund 10 is still not on the horizon. So how are you getting by? Are you reaching out to maybe the Cardano Foundation, some other funding entities? What is your direction? Because I would like, are you sustainable already? I guess is my question as
Okay.
organization.
Yeah, so the answer is no. Like Mesh is not like generating anything yet. And to be honest with you, like I don't know. Like, well, the thing is, the Mesh project has started as like an open source project, right? Fully open source, and it's community driven. Even though it's like just very few people are like driving the development, but the aim is to have as many people to jump in as possible. So yeah, like right now we don't have like any like business plan or income stream apart from like donation maybe. We are like writing a catalyst proposal for Fund 10, but Fund 10 is not confirmed yet, so we don't know when that is going to happen. So yeah, this is something that still like work in progress.
Maybe something to think about, right? Because the Cardano Foundation, they have together with Immorgo actually also even supported like BlockFirst, for example, which is was a for-profit product before they open sourced it, which they also got catalyst funds for, and then additional money. So maybe that's something to explore. Or of course, these organizations, they are great, but things 10 times. So maybe it's something that you and your other team members want to start thinking about, because as we all know, just making money with open source, there's only a few exceptions that are notable. It's like, yeah, but these guys like the redheads or made money, but I just, want you to be taken care of. And I think you provided great value to the community. And if marketed properly, maybe also add some view support, to attract more the global developer community, not just necessarily. People tend to forget that React is primarily a US phenomenon. So just my plead to start thinking about maybe reach out to the Cardano Foundation or even our friends to Immorgo. I'm not sure if that's in their ballpark as well, but Cardano Foundation should support open source.
Hey guys. Hey Matthias. I've actually spoken with the Mesh guys a little bit on Immorgo side, community side. I do want to find a way that we can help work with them, but it's sort of I guess it's in progress and things are slow sometimes. But I can say that I spoke with Jingles a while back, and I also spoke with a couple other folks too that are kind of helping along with Mesh. We're trying to figure out a way to maybe help commercialize an aspect of what Mesh is doing, or explore ways that we could help. I'm happy to keep continuing the conversation. I've been super busy lately, but I did want to come in and join in this and see the demo. I did check it out, see how the progress is. So yeah, I'm super interested in Mesh, and I love it personally.
Thank you. Really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Like, well, Mesh initially was created just out of passion, and as I said, like it was a problem that we really wanted to help other people like resolve it, and I'm glad that like so many people are reaching out to us saying, yeah, we like the project, we love the project, and yeah, it means the word to us. It's yeah, thank you very much for the kind word. Yeah, like we are like we are having like a channel of communication with both like Immorgo and Cardano Foundation, but like we haven't like finished any like agreed on any like financial thing yet. Yeah, as you said, like Jingles is also working on it. So yeah, because like Jingas is handling the marketing and the communication part, and I'm doing the pure technical thing. That's why you don't see me like on Twitter a lot, just occasionally. So yeah, that's it. But yeah, this is something that we have to resolve at some point. And yeah, try to fix it. Yeah, I'm just trying to read the chat if there is anything I'm missing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Jingas is asleep right now. Yeah, yeah, that's right. That's right. Oh, hey, Lucas, by the way.
Hi, Jingles. Sorry, hi, Cremo.
Yeah, no
you were just
problem.
talking about Jingles. And I was thinking, what time is it for him? I think it's -8, so it should be like midnight or something.
Yeah, it's like 4 or 3
4
a.m. Yeah, 3 or 4 a.m. for him.
Hmm.
Yeah, so.
Okay, yeah, because they're advanced, so it's not minus, it's +8.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Cool. All good. Nice to see you guys.
Yeah, thank you. Like it has been a while for me. I missed the last town hall. It was just Lenny here, and yeah, today here I am.
I missed last one too.
Yeah. Speaking of we have a question from Ali.
Noted that no, my question so far has been answered. I asked for the links attached to the names because not everybody knows which name you pronounce. For example, I had to find myself, but since I found everything myself, I will just limit myself to chat and skip it. Bye bye.
Okay, right. If you're asking about the link, I will send the link here in the chat for the website. Yeah.
Yep. Hey, Abdulkarim, this is Mix. I just wanted to ask you a question. I found you here finally. So I wanted to ask you a question. You know, we are working in Equival for a design pattern for role-based access control. That is, there are several smart contracts that are validating other smart contracts, and we are relying on the app wallet to handle those smart contracts. So do you think it is possible? I mean, we have already implemented in hope that this is possible, that the app wallet is going to act as an admin. Yes. Not just to be like a witness or doing some transaction. Of course, that for the transaction signing, but can we use or implement, let's call it app wallet or bot wallet to do something, it's not related to user, but it's related to certifying or designating a smart contract. Can we do that, or is it okay or no? There are some limitations.
Well, the app wallet is mainly used as a gatekeeper or let's say a guard, right? Exactly. Which you can put in your backend. So in your smart contract or whatever, you can just put that, yeah, I want all my transactions to be witnessed by this wallet, right? And then you make sure that when you write your business logic, once you finish them, or like once you make sure that you made all the checks and validation, you sign this transaction using app wallet to say like, yeah, I'm confident that this transaction meets all the criteria. Like it's you can use it as an off-chain smart contract, if we can call it that way. I don't know.
Because that's a great thing about being a gatekeeper, but the design pattern we have, the one app wallet isn't enough. So we came up with a smart contract as a gatekeeper, and inside there are several admin or app wallet.
Yeah, okay.
So these at least, and also there are domain. So in each domain, there are app wallet that we designate the role to them, and there are attribute to those role. Like one app wallet can just sign or being witness or gatekeeper of this particular user or particular set of transaction, not anymore. And there will be some session for that and so on. I won't bore you with the details, but the thing is, since we needed several app wallet, we came up with the design of a smart contract that holds the inside that UTXO holds different information about the app wallet. And again, there is an app wallet that's going to control that gatekeeper. I know that this sounds complicated, but I wonder that is it possible? We are already implemented, but is it possible that
I mean,
an app wallet do interact with another app wallet, something like this?
It's possible. I think it is possible. Yeah. Like, to be honest with you, like, you are the first one who is telling me about like such a really complex use case with app wallet, which makes me feel like really happy, to be honest with you. Yeah, because, well, the first time we implemented app wallet, we were like, yeah, this is something that can be useful for some people out there, but yeah. Yeah,
because we went with the authentication token, like sending a token inside the app wallet, then the dApp will recognize, okay, this is the app wallet. This is not a normal wallet. This is not like a master key or something like an actual human. So, but it was limiting us, because for sending that token, again, we had to make a transaction. And again, being that token inside that app wallet was, again, a security issue, because what if that app wallet gets hacked, for example, or backend get hacked, there are those keys, and the hacker can get the keys of those app wallet, therefore the tokens of those app wallet, and they are authenticated. So we came up with the idea of, okay, for each transaction, the app wallet must burn one of those tokens. But again, for each interaction, we had to mint authentication tokens. So, this thing. So we came up with this design pattern of access controlling. And the UTXO inside the gatekeeper is going to control or is going to authenticate app wallet. And there is an access control contract, which is going to designate these different app wallet and different gatekeeper contract. And I think this is maybe safe. At this, I think it is not as scalable. I know it become very complicated, but I just wonder that maybe. But you told me that you answered my question before asking that maybe someone implement this, like app wallet interacting with another app wallet. So everything is programmatically. It's not doing any human between them.
Right. Yeah. So, well.
Great. So I will be in touch to you when things are almost ready. So, yeah, I will bother you. Don't worry.
Please let me know. Please let me know. I'm
Thank
interested to know more how this is going to end up. Yeah, Matt.
Yeah, I was just putting Mick's suggestion or question together with what Tyler mentioned earlier, like looking for some form of commercialization. I think one of the aspects that are missing and that also speaks to authentication to some degree, is like proper support for any DID standard. It doesn't have to be a teleprism. There's production-ready DID standards that might live on another blockchain, but maybe that is something that you want to explore as a company as well. I think that would be very interesting. I don't know if Emogo has already kind of work in progress and whether Tyler wants to or can talk about that, but I think that is something that will probably be good for the overall ecosystem, that even one day this year, hopefully, a teleprism will actually be released, right, from the IO guys, to have another competing product. That would be good, and maybe that's something that you want to explore. I am personally waiting for DIDCOM V2. So group communication, just an idea.
Yeah, this is something that we can look into. Like me and James, we already started looking into some of the like how to use CIP68 with the LMS that Gimbal Labs are trying to build. So maybe we get some decentralized ID going on there using CIP68. Yeah, and yeah, there are like so many things that we are experimenting with in that regard, but nothing like, well, I mean, not nothing, but we don't have anything to show yet. But yeah, it's a really interesting one. Regarding also financials, there is like the Gimbal Labs bounty system that James has written. So we have like a take on it. We were like working closely with him to get a mesh instance, right, for those bounties. And the idea is to like create, like say, a Stack Overflow like version with mesh theme and everything. And then you can have those bounties and questions and all mesh related stuff there, which you can like just pick a bounty and yeah, get paid for resolving it. So yeah, maybe probably something like that will get some like more developer in it, and maybe will help with the finance side also. But yeah, this is a project that we are making some progress with, me and Genghis and James.
But Abdelkarim, what is your opinion about providing a standard library and a pro library or premium library? That for that premium library and features, the person or project, if they don't want to pay something, at least they are going to have some agreement with you, like paying with the funds, token, or whatever. Have you thought about this?
Well, one of the things that we were discussing last time was something similar to what Tailwind are doing. So you have like, for example, if we just continue with this analogy, you have the Tailwind, which is like free open source, and everyone can use it. And then you have the Tailwind component. Those Tailwind components are written by someone, and then they are not very like open source. You have to pay to get them, right? So maybe we can do something like those mesh component, like the React component, maybe Vue Angular component, and like, let's say your Svelte component, right? We build like a library of this component, and then people needs to pay to get those components. But this is going to be like for the long term, maybe. But yeah, this is a solution. Yeah. 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 Exactly. Exactly. Tailwind UI and Tailwind CSS. Yes. Yes.
But the Vue.js would be the hell library. It wouldn't be the standard library even, you know?
No. Like, okay. Please forgive me for this little rant. I'll keep it concise and short. But in last year, I made the regretful mistake of letting our CTO get his way and build our front end in React. And we had a bunch of junior developers. And it is much easier to write shitty code in React than it is to write shitty code in Vue.
Yes.
So we are totally scrapping the whole entire thing and have to start over. And it's a costly mistake. So granted, there are great React developers, but to me, you know, React was great in 2015. But to me, it felt like, you know, Facebook, Meta needs to stay relevant in the developer community, and React reinventing itself. And it kind of looks like Angular. No, actually not. Angular 1 was actually better. So I stopped there. I'm very opinionated on that, even though I don't write code every day anymore, at least right now.
So Can I just ask you, since you're presenting here Tailwind, right, Matthias? Does this play well with React at all, or not so much?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Okay. Because for now I'm on the React side, especially because I want to use Mesh and on all that. But I hear so much nice things about Tailwind for the UI that I'm really wanting to look into it. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Tyler, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, what if this is kind of like going off of the whole contingent staking debate over the last few days? But what if there was like a business model around like staking for access, premium components? Is that something you think that would be worthwhile to explore?
Yeah, that's great too.
Yeah, maybe. Like speaking of staking, we don't have like a stake pool, but yeah, that's going to be one of the solutions. Maybe, yeah, maybe.
So it won't be something like ISPO, it would be like library SPO or something.
Yeah, it'd be like the more you stake, the more components you have access. I don't know. I'm not sure. It just came to me now. So, but it would be like you would stake a certain amount, and then you'd have access to a certain amount of components. And as long as you were staking, you'd continue to have access to those.
Even the amounts, if you want more features, like there are tier, platinum, diamond, numbers with the amounts.
Yeah, and how can you control like access later? I don't know.
Well, we are going to have the contingent, what they call this new KYC staking. Charles Hoskinson.
Yeah, no, not KYC. Don't say that.
Oh, okay.
That's contingent staking, so it's like a two-way signature. So I sign to stake, and then the stake operator would also sign to accept that stake.
But it can be a proof. I mean, if someone wants to stake in your pool, fine, no problem. But if a project wants to use your library, they have to prove to you. Like they say, okay, look at this address. It was a stake in your pool, and you can be sure, yeah, this is the one, and then you can like unlock the features for them.
Yeah. Like there are like multiple solutions out there. I believe maybe at some point we can get like a mixture of multiple one, like not just one. We can do a solution for one area and another solution for another area, maybe. But yeah.
I really like the staking model for paying for software. So if you haven't seen Hazelnet yet, that's the a Discord bot that lets you interact with your delegators through your Discord server, and you can attach your wallet addresses effectively to your Discord ID. And the as a stake operator who uses the Discord community to interact with my people, being able to hold my ADA and just stake it with this other good operator who's also distributing software. I'm not outlaying, and people will work very hard to avoid subscription models. But for me, I will jump all over this. I can still maintain my capital. I can still accrue ADA rewards, and I'm getting access to this software just by staking it, not with my pool, but with someone else's. So yeah, I think that would be a really healthy way to go about it. I reckon that'll be the largest method for funding open source off projects going forward. So yeah, Tyler was dead right.
Yeah, 100%. Like you brought like a very interesting point with the subscription model, and staking is the way to go if like blockchain takes off and it goes to become mainstream one day. I think this is the solution that everyone is going to like beg for. Yeah, please stake for getting access. So yeah.
And you can, it doesn't have to be particularly sophisticated in how you're tracking usage. Your delegation, you just tie it to a subscription model. Like people will come back and have to pay you again for the next year of access, or
your wallet would be like your license key with wherever you're building. So whatever wallet you're staking with, that would have a key associated with that, has to be associated with the software deployment of the actual of the elements, software elements.
And the way that Niels from Hazelpool's done it as well is that he's tied the number of, so in his case, the key metric is the number of Discord community members is tied to the volume of ADA that you have to have staked to still stay free access to the software. So if you can tie the amount you're staking to the usage, so the number of API calls, if you're listing API, but it's all just libraries, then maybe it's particular domains that the code is running from. You could tie that to additional staking requirements, that sort of thing. Make it ticker.
That's really. So with Hazelnet, what he's doing is, like, if I'm an NFT creator and I have my Discord community and I'm using the Hazelnet bot, as my community grows and I hit like 5,000 people at that point, then I have to up my subscription or my stake that goes towards. Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Also, I think if they don't want to subscribe or for because they don't have the fund or something, at least if there is a mesh pool, mesh pool can be one of the ISP of that project. Therefore, they can use the library. So it would be an incentive for other delegators to come and stake their funds to mesh library. And the mesh would have this privilege to be an ISPO for that project. Therefore, that project can use the library as well. I think, Abdul Karim, would be great that you guys follow this. As you know, there are many people right now, including Jonathan. There are SPO, and they can help you with this. In Gimbal Labs, James is, John T. There are many people that can help you building or setting up that pools very quickly. Our project would be really gladly, and in future, if we are having plan for ISPO, to include mesh pool as our ISPO as well. It would be great.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, this is something I will look into. We will discuss it with the Genghis and everyone. It's also like get me thinking about like how we can like put this side by side with the bounties. So let's say like those SPOs who are like jumping into this can also fund more bounties to like get more stuff done on mesh. So yeah, it's going to be to create like a really nice loop, let's say. Yeah. And yeah, amazing. Okay. What else? Yeah, we spoke about the bounties. We spoke about there is also one other thing that we were like exploring with Jingles regarding like how we can get some revenue out of it, which was the mesh courses, right? So, and mesh certifications. So this is something that, well, it's still like under like discussion, and we still don't know exactly how we should approach this. So the idea is we already have guides, right? And next is going to have like courses where you have your mesh beginner course or whatever, and then you jump in or advance, or I don't know, you can jump in and finish like buy the course and finish it like you do in Udemy, for example, or something like that. Yeah, that can be useful, but again,
so you mean asynchronous courses that you publish and people just buy them asynchronously?
Yes, but yeah, this is going to be against like the idea of like free access to information. We don't want to hide information behind a paywall. So yeah, that's why we didn't make like this idea got like we started thinking about it like 3 months now, but then we had to put it on hold. Yeah, I saw Matthias and Lucas and Ali, like all three of you.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
The idea of token, have you thought about that, Abdul Karim, about the token? Like the same thing about the subscription, but with mesh token or NFT. Like if a project or someone wants to use these features, they should buy, or, you know, at least have this amount of mesh token or something. Have you thought about this too?
Yeah,
token,
so
mesh token.
well, not mesh token, but I already said that we earlier that we are like experimenting with IP68, right? And try to do some DID with it. And this token is supposed to give people access to some stuff within Mesh. Yeah.
And that is like for example, can I represent an app wallet to act as me? So if there is something on the blockchain that I'm not behind my system to sign that transaction, but since that app wallet represent me, that can do the bidding instead of me. I mean, that's the idea about this deed. Like there is a wallet, it's automatically handling everything regards to me, and I assign that. I assign that bot and that program. Are you talking about this stuff? Because if you are talking about this, I'm going to implement it in a smart contract right now.
Okay. Well, go ahead. Well, as I said, it's still like under experimentation phase. But yeah, it is something like similar to that.
Great, because we thought about that. For example, we have a user and they are sending monies, and they have to. I mean, since it's not non-custodial, the taker and maker, they have different time zone, and you know they have to come and sign that transaction. But we thought that what if those users will assign, or we assign a bot wallet to them, and that bot wallet or app wallet can do everything for them, not handling this just for this transaction. Also, there will be an option that if they want, they can do it for themselves. Or for example, they can say this option that if this situation happen, just sign the transaction automatically. You don't need my supervising this action. So I don't know. I mean, this is the idea about the deed you guys were trying to build, or no? I'm just thinking or telling something else.
Well, we were not like thinking about it like that. But yeah, because well, the idea here is just have someone who is like doing the bounties, and then he will get his token updated with the achievement, and
I see.
Yeah. And
sorry,
then,
I mistaken for something related to app wallet idea. But if you guys can implement that, we would be really grateful that we will assign an app wallet for each user, which can act and behave like a user if the user wants to do. If they are not available for several days or something, at least the transaction will be signed and they can be sure that this action will happen. But yeah, thank you.
Okay, yeah. Lucas, you have something?
Yeah, so still going back to the training part that when you said selling courses, you know, I do run some situations where some initiatives where you are actually not selling courses, but you're selling your FaceTime, you're selling trainings face-to-face with classes now. And what I'm trying to do with that initiative is actually to have some sessions which would be sponsored by organizations. Other sessions could be the internal team open discussions where we do whatever we feel like, but you know, we are building content to then either sell community sponsored sessions or sell on-demand courses. So what I'm going to drop in the chat, for example, tomorrow, through the Cardano networking, we are having a session tomorrow on this Web3 Learn community. They usually teach Ethereum development, and we're going there. Me, one person from CF, and another person from like to introduce Catalyst to try to open their appetite to Cardano and eventually sell a course in this platform. So that's what I'm proposing, and the concept of the course that I'm going to try to put together there, if they have interest from learners, is to I can teach the basic addresses, stake keys, and UTXO model, and etc. But then something like what you guys did for the Emurgo Academy session the other day, the live coding, which was amazing, by the way. If you could do that type of thing with learners, but instead of just you do and they see, to actually take a course of take a class of 20 learners through the process of building it themselves, would you be available to do that, to budget your time to deliver this service? Or
right, so when you say something that I would think about, like okay, if I have to do something like this, it's going to take away from me some of the development time, right?
Yeah.
So maybe once Mesh reach a point where it is like, it is like very, like not 100% stable, but we have implemented all the things that needs to be implemented, and like Mesh can stand on its feet like that, then yes, okay, 100%. I would be like very open to do stuff like that, both me and Jingles. But yeah. But like for now,
I felt like you're.
Sorry.
Go.
No, I was saying, like, for now, like, we are just 3 people on the team, and one of us is not 100% available, so it's just me and Jingles most of the time. So yeah. There's only so much we can do. Yeah,
sure. I felt like the answer was going to go in that direction, and that's why for now I was envisioning, okay, if this opportunity comes through, I'll find someone from Gimba Labs that is proficient in Mesh, and that person can come and teach. But I also realized, because we are all in communities that overlap and everything, it would be fair game, if it would be fair play, I mean, from our part, if we teach, someone from Gimba Labs goes and teach that course and gets paid for teaching Mesh, but then gets 10% of what he got paid and offers it to Mesh. That would be what 10, whatever, I think what you're delivering in the ecosystem is amazing. And if someone can just learn it in 10 hours, go and teach a course and get paid for that, they should take some of that payment and channel it to you guys. So, and that would bring that person on board to the Mesh community more. And I think, that's what I'll probably do if this comes through.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Cheers.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Matt.
I do have to apologize. I feel like not a majority of our time together, I kind of steered into the direction of productization, commercialization, and making sure that you all get to eat. So because also with the courses, for example, right, I think open source is just more than putting a GitHub repo out there, right? So the documentation which I've seen is great, right? I think it can be expanded on. For example, what if you don't want to use React, for example, right? So I think while there are still many good things, the overall conversation, I think, was very beneficial, and it might help us in our own products and services that we are trying to offer. But I would really, really like to also, with the spirit of of Mesh, with Jingles and Abdul Karim and everyone on the team, to see this be a successful open source project, because I do believe that the intention here was to just bring more developers to Cardano, right? So that we all benefit truly from that. So while I do believe there are probably some extra things to make money from, I would love to see this to be a successful open source project. a free open source project in every meaning of the word. But at the same time, I do want to make sure that, you know, you all of you can eat. And my understanding is that Jingles might have a little less time in the future as well. So, you know, if you want to add another developer to the team, also, you know, having the incentive, that would be good. So I'm really glad to hear Tyler already exploring from Imogo's side, you know, how Mesh can be supported, because I do believe you have been providing a great service to the community, not just with this SDK, but with other pieces of code and education, and just, you know, being ambassadors of Cardano. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for the kind words. Well, we are trying to make, as you said, Mesh a true open source project. Like we really, like we come across like so many open source projects, but they're not like really open source, because open source is not just about putting the code on GitHub. It's about building the community, talk to people, be there to solve their issues, reply to like messages when you get them, and try to help just getting people up to speed. So yeah, like I'm like really proud of like our Discord community, even though it's like very small community, but there are so many people jumping, answer each other's, and like help each other's. Like at the beginning, it was just me and Genghis trying to answer each and every one of those questions, and now they are answering each other. So I don't have to be like really active on the chat. So yeah, it is like I think this is the vision, building a true open source and try to make it open source until the end. So yeah. We try to give the community something. We don't want to give it take it away because of the lack of funding or something like that. So yeah.
So what if you put together those courses, but instead of putting them on Udemy, you incentivize the community to do a bit what I was discussing? Go out, find learners, teach courses, maybe get paid for it. And if you do, consider, you know, reverting back to Mesh or not. But the process from your side to put together the courses and maybe open source them in a way could, if well promoted in your community, have this effect.
Yeah, yeah. 100%, 100%. Well, one of the things that we were also thinking about is to put those like courses 100% free, and then people who can pay is going to pay, and who cannot, he won't. But yeah, this is like just to get it started, get things started, because when it's like blockchain as a whole, like it's a new industry, let alone Cardano, right? So there is not so much you can find online if you search about like how to develop on Cardano, or like just recently we started seeing like new courses and new things on Ethereum, for example. But like in 2017, for example, you won't be able to find a Solidity course, for example. When I wanted to learn Solidity, I had to go and read the docs from the official Solidity website. So yeah, this is how it was back then, and now there is major improvement. I think for Cardano it can be the same thing, but yeah, someone has to do it, and yeah, we decided to be the one who do that. So
yeah. I found myself in a YouTube video yesterday where someone was introducing Plutus as a way to develop smart contracts on Cardano. And the person then says, but it's not live yet. For now, they haven't deployed it to mainnet. So it was like previous, like early 2021. Mix agrees.
Yeah.
No, I remember that not last 2 years ago, in 2021, when someone was talking about Cardano, oh, it's a ghost chain, a scam chain, I don't know, whatever chain, Charles Hoskinson chain. No one believed to actually start something on that blockchain, really. I mean, although Cardano had really great idea, great research paper, which other blockchain right now are using, like Algorand they are using, Polkadot they are using these papers right now. But at that time, yeah, it was kind of believe, like if we have to believe in this. But now, no, now things are much more great, really great. And who knows, 1 year from now, Abdul Karim won't answer us anymore. You know, he's rich at the beach, he's eating his orange juice, you know.
No, well, maybe I will get rich, but yeah, I won't change. So yeah, don't worry.
I'm joking. No, I know you guys are great. If you become, I mean, rich, of course. I mean, you guys are rich already, but in others, they have value. You know, in my opinion, a repo, the code you have is kind of capital. So if you are a closed source guy, you are a capitalist, you know. But if you are open source, you are not socialist or something, but you're communist because of that. But you are valuing that, you are giving that capital to increase that capital, aka repo, aka code. So yeah, I really like your view and your point of view on the world. And really thank you for your hard work. And we especially are really enjoying all the things that you've done and all the codes and how you craft it and how they are optimized at their level. And when you release future, we already know that this is the best optimized one. So we don't need to change that code to be better or to like the algorithm, coin algorithm, all those hooks. So yeah, really great. Well, I think we are lucky that we have you guys.
Thank you very much. Yeah, and we are lucky to have you as well. So yeah.
By the way, just a noob question: are you looking into Hydra eventually, or is it not in the roadmap?
Yeah, well, there are so many things that we were looking at, including Hydra. But then when BlueTS happened, we like, especially me, I like stopped everything. I tried to focus on just doing the BlueTS integration first, and then we can jump back to Hydra and all those stuff. But yeah, Jingas is doing experimentation every day with Mesh, just to try to see what's possible with Mesh and like try to get proof of concept and out for those kind of stuff. But yeah, we will getting back to this. Yeah, because well,
Go ahead. I have a question, but please go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, for now, the aim is to get Mesh accessible to the most the biggest number possible of platform, right? And yeah, JavaScript is the most like multi-platform language. So yeah, why not do it 100% in JavaScript? So yeah, that's the purpose for now. The goal.
What about the batching transaction application? Have you thought about that? That Mesh would do some kind of batching transaction?
Well,
backend.
Yeah. Again, it's going to have like the same answer. It is also one of the things that we have on the backlog, but yeah, it won't happen until BlueTS. So yeah, batching transaction is also something that we thought about. Like well, there is like a really interesting team dynamic between me and Jingas. Like once we like how we try to prioritize features and what to add next and things like that. So he's always thinking about what is the feature that is going to have the most impact, right? Even if it's not like very technical, like it's not like very mind-blowing, if it's going to have an impact on users, then let's prioritize this first. And yeah, for me, I always try to think about, yeah, what is the technical challenges and how can we make it like how to do transaction batching and those kind of stuff. So we always try to find a balance between the two. For example, the e-commerce template that Jingles has posted like last week, I believe, right? It's not like something like really technically advanced, right? It's not like you don't have to be like really to do so many things to get it up and running, but it's a use case that so many people are missing because they're really focused on the details on how to create an NFT marketplace or how to do like really like a minting solution or something. But yeah, you can also do a shop and you can use stablecoin and you can sell goods using Cardano. It's possible. Why not? So yeah.
So hey guys, oh, I was saying I got to take off. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure just kind of joining and learning a little bit more about what you guys are doing and checking out the demo and everything.
Thank you very much.
Have a great rest of the day, everyone, and see you guys later.
Bye. Okay, bye. Thank you very much. Okay. Yeah, I just noticed that it's almost like 1 hour 30, more than 1 hour 30. So yeah, guys, if you have anything planned or something, I'm not going to take too much of your time. So yeah.
No, thank you very much. Say or hello to Jingles too.
Of course. I will do that.
Good luck.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. Well, by the way, he's going to be editing this video. I will send it to him later. So yeah.
I wanted to say something, AD.
Thank you.
You know, what you guys are doing is awesome. I think it's something that is going to revolutionize everything that is being done here. And the only thing I would say is that everybody is in the same boat. Everybody is with a lot of good tools. I mean, not everybody, but most of them, the developers have awesome tools, and they're in the same situation of looking for ways to survive, if they can, to have the project survive. I think the key is to perseverate and keep doing what you guys are doing, and the community itself is going to eventually manifest and help in any way possible. One thing that I believe is key is always go back to basics and try to develop, make time for that vision, mission, and what shared vision that is going to drive this project to wherever you want to take it, and start building from there, and start gathering people around you that share the vision, even if they don't know anything, because they can help with marketing, they can help with whatever it is, not necessarily coding. And I think that's, it's not a no. What I'm saying here is not something no, but I think it's something that we always forgot. In fact, today I was doing something out here. I didn't look at the manual. I started doing the putting together the thing, and I saw the manual at the end. It says, it always happens always to us. And yeah, I think the manual says go back to basics. And I have as Matthias was saying, I have an idea which is balance, and that has to do with that. And that idea has 5 members. One of them is Pedro Lucas. I've been invited Matt, but he's too busy to be there. Anyway, we don't have any work at all, not even the website, nothing. But I'm in the same boat. I mean, I don't have the time to promote it, and Pedro, I actually offer help to do it. We haven't been able to get together, and all those things. I know I'm rambling here, but it has to do with just start doing things based on the principles, on the basics. That's it. And congratulations, man. Awesome work.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. Okay, thank you. I think that was a wonderful way of like closing the the meeting today. But yeah, thank you so much for joining. And yeah, we really appreciate your support, guys. It really means a lot to us. Yeah, thank you very much. And I hope you have like a great day, the rest of your day. And okay, yeah. And
Take care.
thank you. Talk to you
Great.
next time.
See you.
Bye.
Great. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.